Good morning friends, I welcome you all for my online classes. So previous sessions we have discussed many things about matrices and the content of discussions were according to your NCERT 12th mathematics textbook. Right, we have covered the definition, we have understood how to represent a matrix in the general form. We have also understood what are the different types of matrices, what are their properties, how do they appear, right? And apart from this, we have also finished first exercise. Now let us take up the important topic of this chapter, right? These many days we have discussed only the basics. Now let us start with some important topics. Let us start with matrix operations. What are matrix operations? Any operation, any process you perform on the matrix is called as matrix operation. In simple, what is matrix operation? Any process or any operation you perform on the matrix. Any process you perform on the matrix is called as what? Matrix operation. First one is addition of matrices. Right? So we all know that we take help of matrices to represent the numbers, which will be, if we don't take the help of matrices, it will become very difficult to represent the numbers. So to make it simple, we take help of, or we make use of matrices, as I have explained with example in the first class or first session. You can, if you are not understanding that one, if you are not getting the things what I have said here, you can go back to my first session. Right, there you will be clearly the description is given. Right, with example I have explained why do we make use of matrices. Right, coming to our topic of today, right, there is matrix operation. First one, let us start with addition of matrices. As the definition is displayed on the board, what is addition of matrices? Addition means sum of two numbers. Here addition of matrices, it is sum of two matrices. Right, so you can see it is the process of adding corresponding elements of matrices. If you want to add two numbers directly, you can add, but how are you going to add the matrices? You need to add corresponding elements of the matrices. Okay, then the resulting matrices or resulting matrix will give you the sum of two matrices. Right, and in order to add corresponding elements of any matrix, right, or any matrices, what is the condition? Right, if you want to add a corresponding element of two matrices, the condition is order of two matrices should be same. Whatever may be the order, but both the matrices should have same order. Right, so you can make a note of that. That is a very important condition to add two matrices. That is what we are capable of adding two matrices, provided the order of matrix remains same. Right, so it is a process of adding corresponding elements of the matrices. Let us take an example. Let A be equal to 2103 and B equal to 3529. What are the corresponding elements? A11 2, B11 is 3, A12 is 1, B12 is 5, A21 is 0, B21 is 2, A22 is 3, B22 is 9. So if you add the corresponding elements, what do you get? A plus B. If you add corresponding elements, 2 plus 3, that will give you 5, 1 plus 5, that will give you 6, 0 plus 2, that will give you 2, 3 plus 9, that will give you 12. In equality of matrices, as we compare the corresponding elements, here in sum of matrices or addition of matrices, we should add corresponding elements. Right? So the resultant matrix, this will give you the sum of both the matrices, and the order of resultant matrix is also same as that of the order of the initial matrices. Okay, order of the resultant matrix is also same as that of the order of the individual matrices. Right, so this is just an example to make you people understand how to add the matrices. But if it is given in numbers, directly you can add, but if it is given in some other form, how do you add the matrices? Right? How to add the matrices? That let us try to understand with a simple example. What is there here? It is actually simple, but appears to be very big. Don't get worried about that. Right? It is very simple. See what he is saying here. Suppose from Delhi and Hyderabad, certain number of buses are traveling. Buses and taxis are traveling as given below. They have given certain numbers below. To where? Mumbai, Pune and Bangalore. From Delhi and Hyderabad, certain number of buses as well as taxis are traveling to Mumbai, Pune and Bangalore. Right? So what should we find? Find the total number of buses and taxis traveling to each of the given cities. Right? We should find the total number of buses and taxis traveling from each of these cities to each of the cities given below. Right? That is, from Delhi, how many buses are traveling to Mumbai? Right? And from Hyderabad, how many buses are traveling to Mumbai? Try to understand the question. We need to find the sum of buses traveling, total number of buses traveling to Mumbai, total number of taxis traveling to Mumbai, total number of buses traveling to Bangalore, total number of taxis traveling to Bangalore, total number of buses traveling to Pune and total number of taxis traveling to Pune. Right? So how do we express them? We have to express in this form, in the form of matrices. Right? These are the data from Delhi. From Delhi, first column represents the information about buses and second column gives us the information about taxis. Once again I repeat, first column gives us the information about buses and second column gives us the information about taxis. First row gives us the information about Mumbai, second row gives us the information about Bangalore and third row will give us the information about Pune. Okay, first row will give us the information about Mumbai, second row will give us the information about Bangalore and third row will give us the information about Pune. This is what? This is the number of buses and taxis traveling from Delhi to Mumbai, Bombay and Pune. Sorry, Mumbai, Bangalore and Pune. Fine. So here also same data is given, but this is from Hyderabad. Right? This is from Hyderabad. Similarly, here also the data are given. Now what should we find? We should find total number of buses traveling to, going to Mumbai. Total number of buses coming to Mumbai from Delhi and Hyderabad. Right? So how many buses are coming to Mumbai from Delhi? That is 50. How many buses are coming to Mumbai from Hyderabad? That is 20. Right? How many buses are coming to Mumbai from Delhi? That is 50. And 20 buses are coming to Mumbai from Hyderabad. So what will be total number of buses coming to Mumbai? 50 plus 20. That is what? 70. Right? 50 plus 20 is what? 70. Now, how many taxis are coming to Mumbai? 40. That is from Delhi. And from Hyderabad, how many taxis are coming? 30. So from Delhi, 40 taxis are coming to Mumbai, and from Hyderabad, 30 taxis are coming to Mumbai. So what will be total number of taxis coming to Mumbai? From Delhi it is 40, from Hyderabad it is 30. So total will be 40 plus 30. That is once again 70. Okay. I hope this is clear. Coming to Bangalore. So how many buses are coming to Bangalore from Delhi? 20 buses. How many buses are buses are coming from Hyderabad to Bangalore? That is 10. So 20 buses are coming to Bangalore from Delhi and 10 buses are coming to Bangalore from Hyderabad. From Delhi 20 buses and from Hyderabad 10 buses. So what will be total number of buses coming to Bangalore? 20 plus 10, that is 30. Similarly, how many taxis are coming to Bangalore? 35 from Delhi and 25 from Hyderabad. How many taxis are coming to Bangalore? That is 35 from Delhi and 25 from Hyderabad. So what will be the total number of taxis coming to Bangalore? That is 35 plus 25. What is 35 plus 25? That is 60. Okay. I hope this thing is also clear. Now coming to third one, that is to Pune. So 90 buses are coming to Pune from Delhi, right? And 35 buses are coming to Pune from Hyderabad. So what will be total number of buses coming to Pune? That is 90 from Delhi plus 35 from Pune. So 90 plus 35 will give you 125, right? So 90 from Delhi and 35 from Hyderabad. So total number of buses coming to Pune is 90 plus 35, that is 125. And how many taxis are coming? 65 from Delhi and 20 from Hyderabad. 65 from Delhi and 20 from Hyderabad. So total number of taxis coming to Pune is 65 from Delhi plus 20 from Hyderabad. 65 plus 20 will give you what? 85, right? So this matrix will give the information about total number of buses coming to Mumbai, total number of taxis coming to Mumbai, total number of buses coming to Bangalore, total number of buses coming to total number of taxis coming to Bangalore, total number of buses coming to Pune, and total number of buses coming to taxis coming to Pune, right? So this is the resultant matrix, which is nothing but sum of these two matrices. In order to get the required answer, we need to add two matrices, which we have done, and we have got the result. Is that clear? Okay. So this is nothing but addition of two matrices. You can find n number of examples on this, right? Go through your NCERT book and refer different books also. You will find n number of examples, right? So I hope addition of matrices is clear. So what you should do is pause the video and take down the notes. Okay friends, I hope you have taken down the things which were there on previous slide. Okay, so we were discussing about addition of two matrices. So let us discuss the same topic with some more example, right? With one more example here. A is given as root 3, 1, minus 1, 2, 3, 0, and B is given as 2 root 5, 1, minus 2, 3, 1 by 2. Okay. So what is the first and foremost condition? The order of both the matrices should be same. What is the order of the matrix A here? 2 cross 3. Order of matrix B, that is also 2 cross 3. So definitely addition is possible here. So and what is the second condition? We should add the corresponding elements. What are the corresponding elements? Corresponding element of root 3 is what? 2 here. So root A plus B, matrix A plus matrix B is matrix A as it is plus matrix B. Root 3 is there, corresponding element of root 3 is 2 here. So first element will be A11 will be root 3 plus 2, and corresponding element of 1 is root 5, so 1 plus root 5. Corresponding element of minus 1 is plus 1 here, so minus 1 plus 1. For 2, what is the corresponding element? There is minus 2, so 2 plus of minus 2. For 3, what is the corresponding element? 3 only, so 3 plus 3. For 0, the corresponding element is 1 by 2, so it is 0 plus 1 by 2. What will be the result of this? Root 3 plus 2 as it is, 1 plus root 5 as it is. Minus 1 plus 1 is what? Both cancels and 0 remains. Then 2 plus of minus 2 is nothing but 2 minus 2, that is 0. 3 plus 3 is 6, 0 plus 1 upon 2 is 1 upon 2. Here you can see the order of this matrix is also 2 cross 3. Order of this resultant matrix is also 2 cross 3. So order of A was also 2 cross 3, order of B was also 2 cross 3, and order of A plus B is also 2 cross 3. This is how we need to add the matrices. Right? Is that clear? Okay. Fine. So these examples are more than sufficient. If you follow the conditions, the two conditions, definitely you can get the results. It is not at all a difficult task. Right? So Let's proceed further. So next topic here is multiplication of a matrix by scalar. This is the second operation. This is the second operation, multiplication of matrix by scalar. So what do you mean by a scalar? Scalar is any number having only magnitude. Scalar means what? The quantity is having only magnitude but no direction. So any number on the real line, right, is a scalar. So what happens when you multiply a matrix by some number? Right? What happens when you multiply the matrix by some number? Right? So as the thing is given, multiplying the given matrix by a number is called scalar multiplication. Let us consider an example. Let A be equal to 2, 5, 3, 7, 9, 6. This is what? 2 cross 3 matrix. Right? So what happens if I multiply any scalar? Let us consider the scalar to be 2. What happens if I multiply 2 to this matrix? What happens if I multiply 2 to this matrix? When I multiply 2 to this given matrix, then each and every element of that matrix gets multiplied by the 2. Is that clear? When I multiply 2 to this matrix, each and every element present inside the matrix, each and every entries present inside the matrix will get multiplied by 2. What is that 2? Scalar factor. Right? That is scalar, what we have taken as multiplication. See, then what will be 2a? 2a is 2 into this thing, this given matrix. What will be this one? As per our condition, each and every element will get multiplied by 2. So 2 into 2 is 4, 2 into 5 is 10, 2 into 3 is 6, 2 into 7, 14, 2 into 9, 18, 2 into 6 is 12. Is that clear? So you can see 4, 10, 6, 14, 18, 12. These are all the entries which we got after multiplying 2. Each and every element inside the matrix by 2. If scalar was 3, then what happens? Each and every number here gets multiplied by 3. Then this becomes 6, this becomes 15, here it will get 9, here 21, here 27, and lastly we get 18. Right? This is how we will get the values. In general, if k is the scalar, then k into the given matrix is nothing but multiplying k inside the matrix, right, to each and every elements. Is that clear? So this is called as scalar multiplication. Right? Why do we multiply this one? For example, if I want to speak about some examples which will tell why to multiply these things. Previously I have taken one example to explain. Right? There was an example we have considered that from Delhi and Hyderabad certain buses are coming to Mumbai, Pune and Bangalore. What happens if the number is doubled? What happens if the number is doubled? Right? Then the result, whatever we are getting, it is nothing but scalar multiplication. The result is nothing but scalar multiplication. Whatever the buses were there initially will get multiplied by 2. Will get multiplied by 2 there. If the number is tripled, whatever the buses or whatever the number of taxis were there, they will get multiplied by 3. There is nothing but scalar multiplication to any matrix. Is that clear? Right? I hope the things are very much clear here. There should not be any confusion here. Right? So do the thing, pause the video and take down the notes. Okay students, I hope you have taken down all the things. You have understood the topics what we have discussed in previous slides. Let us move on to next topic or next operation, that is negative of a matrix. We have seen matrix, but what is negative of a matrix? Negative of a matrix is nothing but reversing. In simple words, if I want to convey, it is nothing but reversing each and every element. That is, or reversing the sign convention of each and every element present in the matrix. Okay. So if the elements in the matrix are positive, they become negative. If the elements are negative, they become positive. Right. So what all entries are positive, they become negative, and what all entries are negative, they become positive. Here we have taken for an example a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what will be minus a? Minus a is nothing but minus 1 into a. Right. You can see that thing in the definition. Negative of matrix A is defined as or denoted by minus a, and is defined as minus a is equal to minus 1 into a. So minus a is equal to minus 1 into a. So what you will get? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and minus 4. It is not compulsory that, or it may not be possible that each and every element in the matrix are either positive or negative. Some elements may be positive, some elements may be negative. Right? Some elements may be positive, some elements may be negative. So same method applies. Whatever elements are positive, they become negative. Whatever elements are negative, they become positive. For example, if here we have 2, if suppose instead of 2, if we have minus 2, then in negative we get plus 2. Suppose this was minus 2 here, right? Then we will get plus 2 here. So whatever elements are negative, they become positive, and whatever elements are positive, they become negative. So this is how we need to convert a matrix into negative of its matrix. Okay. So coming to next operation, there is difference of matrices. That is what? Difference of matrices. Right. So how it is defined? If A is defined by the matrix Aij and B is defined by the matrix Bij, are any two matrices of same order. Let it be equal to m cross n. What is that m cross n? Order of matrix A as well as matrix B. So A and B are some matrices of order m cross n. Right. Then difference of the matrices A and B is defined as A minus B, that is defined as D is equal to Dij, where Dij is Aij minus Bij. Right. So D is the difference of A minus B. So if you subtract A from B, you will get some matrix that is taken to be equal to D. And it is defined as Dij, where Dij you can get it as Aij minus Bij. Right. So this is about the definition, but if I want to tell you, it is opposite to that of the addition of matrices. Where we have to add two matrices. First, what we should do? A minus B. If you simply want to do it, A minus B, you take negative of these matrices. According to this, whatever matrix B will be given, you take negative of that matrix and add with the A. Here you can see, if A is 215, 632, B is 539, 216, then A minus B will be equal to A minus B. 2 minus 5 is minus 3, 1 minus 3 is minus 2, 5 minus 9 is minus 4. Is that clear? 2 minus 5 is minus 3, 1 minus 3 is minus 2, 5 minus 9 is minus 4. Similarly, 6 minus 2 is 6 minus 2, it should be plus 4. Okay. That is taken as negative 4. 6 minus 2 is plus 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. And 2 minus 6 is minus 4. Just as we have added two matrices, we can subtract two matrices. Right? But definition is this way. Is that clear? Addition and subtraction of matrices. So now once again you pause this video. Right? Pause the video and take down all the notes. Whatever is there displayed on the board. Okay? Take it down. So friends, we have discussed today addition of matrices, then multiplying the matrix with a scalar, and then negative of a matrix, then difference of a matrices. I hope the concepts are clear to you, right? So we'll stop here. You can take down the notes. Tomorrow we'll continue with the properties. That is, in the next video we are going to continue with the properties. Okay, thank you.